What is going on, guys? Correct 1287 here, bringing you yet another Battlefield 4 gameplay. This time I'm going to have some chain link footage going on there in the background, and that is to serve as the purpose because this video is basically going to be talking about why I'm not the biggest fan of chain link. Now, I love the concept. Conquest, aside from Titan mode and the new, more up-to-date version of it, Carrier Assault, Conquest has always been my favorite game mode in the Battlefield series, and really in any shooter. It just has it's a great way to have these big maps that exist in Battlefield and to still have objective-based gameplay in which brings people together. It's the best one to allow like flanking and have different things like vehicles with tanks and choppers and boats and ATVs and infantry. It's the best mode to really just bring in all the different things that make a Battlefield game and still offer up an objective-based game mode. Rush is great and all, but oftentimes it's very small parts of the maps, which isn't really the true Battlefield thing. You can't really flank very well in a lot of different locations because of the no man's zone and simple physical design. Certain buildings can't be blown up, and you just can't make a new path via destruction or anything of that sort. So Conquest is pretty much the best thing. Now, when I heard about chain link, that it was pretty much Conquest, but where you had to have certain ones connecting to truly benefit, I was super duper excited. It was kind of like what PlanetSide's done with their system, where things have to be all connected. You don't gain a benefit from it if you own it, but it's not connected or touch or adjacent to other bases that you own. And I thought this was really cool. It adds another layer of depth to what Conquest already has. Then, when I actually got my hands on it, and I've been experiencing it, it's really hard for me to put my finger on it, because it does offer that. The flanking potential in this game is ridiculous. I love it. The fact that you can go in and cap one point that robs two chain links from a team. It's really, really awesome. The positioning of these points are different than the flags are for Conquest. They didn't just take the Conquest map where all the 5, 6, 7 or so flags are, and then just put the chain in there to where they have to be connected. They actually did change the locations of things, and vehicle spawns and things like that are different. I mean, there's a good bit of actual physical difference from these two different game modes. And so that's not what bothers me. Actually, I like the new spawn. I like the way that the shape of the flag placement is on the maps. What I don't enjoy is how chaotic things get. This game mode is very I don't want to say unstructured. Again, this is like all my videos. This is unscripted. I don't even have any bullet points. I'm just watching the footage and talking. So, I've thought about this just as I've played, but I haven't really tried to iron it out as to this very, very specific details as to why I don't like. But I've kind of tried that a couple times, and it still is very hard to truly just. I can't really exactly. I don't know. It's hard to explain. It's not that it's 2K. All right. What makes it so fast is the fact that you cap these points a lot faster, almost like domination. You cap them a lot faster, and because of this, and the points are all closer together. So there's a lot of map that is just excess. So the flanking, when you cap a point, the amount of time it takes to get to show up at another point is a lot lower. There's not as much downtime. So that does add to the intensity and the pacing. Somebody that caps Charlie might take a lot longer to get to Bravo, so you can kind of plan accordingly, but for in Conquest. But in this mode, in Chain Link game mode, once they cap Charlie and they're moving on to Bravo, they're going to be pretty much on Bravo almost within a few seconds. Like, it could be less than 10 seconds, and they could be already on to the next point. And this almost makes flanking a little too effective, which makes it too chaotic. Because in Conquest, if one person tries to go behind enemy lines, and this is the same for Planet Side with the lattice system, is that it actually took a good bit of time to cap a base in Planet Side 2, and in Battlefield 4 and 3, Conquest takes quite... That guy should have killed me. It takes quite a bit of time to cap a point if you're by yourself. Even with a lot of people, if you've got 2 or 3 people, it still takes a few seconds. That gives the opposing team enough time, if they're on the front lines, to actually go back and defend it. In Chain Link, it's pretty much only the people that are able to defend are the ones that are dead and just happen to be able to spawn in when they see the thing blinking. And that makes it to where a one person can, because all the points are so close together, there's so much space on the map that is just ignored because there's no capture points. Why go over there? There's no capture points. So that one person can seriously sneak by where nobody's looking and get onto the base that's on your uncap, or the one really close to your uncapped base, and cap it by himself relatively quick. And so that it makes things go way... That's it. Again, I don't really know exactly how to phrase it, but basically that. It's a little too fast. I feel like if they slowed the objectives down and made them take the same amount of time that Conquest does, maybe a little faster, or at least maybe benefit, let it increase as more people join, make it increase more, the multiplier for how fast it caps, make that a little higher. But it's too easy for just smaller amounts of people to throw a wrench in the engine. That's kind of what I'm getting at. Is in Conquest, a whole squad can wreak havoc, but in Chain Link, one guy can wreak havoc and completely throw off all the bases that you have and split your forces to where now you're having to fight on 2 different fronts. So hopefully that makes sense, that what I just said makes sense. The whole thing with the position of the flag placements in conjunction with the speed at which it takes to capitalize to capture these bases, both come together to create something that's just too chaotic. It's a nice change of pace. It's kind of like Domination. It's just a lot more action-packed and smaller maps. So it focuses all the intensity. It focuses everybody's positions. And because they cap faster, it's that both those aspects come together to make something that is much more intense, much faster pace. And that's kind of the same for Chain Link, except it's for a mode that I want for there to be more tactics and strategy in. Domination is more chaos. I want that chaos. I don't want to expect communication to come into play with my guys on TeamSpeak. When I'm talking to them, I want to be able to do a call out, like, oh, hey, the enemy was here. In Conquest, I can do that. A vehicle, it's still going to be in that general area, but in Domination and now in Chain Link, things just happen so quickly that communication doesn't really matter. I could say, oh, yeah, the guy's on my core. No, he's not, because they're already gone because everything moves so quickly. There's no reason for me to do a call out. And so strategy and tactics kind of take a back seat, and it really just comes down to whoever has the teammates that just charge and just keep pushing is the team that's going to win. The guys that have more snipers, or the more guys that have bipods that just kind of sit back and try to defend a little bit, that's going to be the team that loses. And, so that's pretty much all I have. I don't dislike the game mode. It's just not exactly what I wanted Chain Link to be. I guess that means I do dislike it. It's not what I wanted it to be. I'm a little disappointed. In a way, I'm a little let down because I did have this idea of what Chain Link could have been, but I don't know. What do you guys think of Chain Link? It's still a really awesome mode, and it's definitely a great way to get a nice change of pace. And once you've done a lot of Conquest that takes 30 minutes, 40 minutes, 50-minute Conquest rounds and whatnot, Chain Link is a great one to just get a quick 10-minute round, maybe if your team's good enough, and rack up just as many kills as you got during that 50-minute Conquest one, because it's just everything happens so fast. So what do you guys think? Do you enjoy it, or am I just insane and all of this is in my head? Hope you guys did enjoy the gameplay nonetheless and enjoyed the commentary. Have a good one. Ta-ta.